I've been reading comics for decades, and in that time I've read hundreds of comic book series. And in this video, I am going to tell you what I think are the 10 greatest comic book series of all time. This is my list of the top 10 comic book classics. Number 10, The Incredible Hulk by John Buscema. Incredible Hulk was one of Marvel's flagship titles in the 70s and early 80s. And it starred the most rage-filled Marvel superhero. This version of Bruce Banner started out as an ongoing series in 1968, but it would evolve into a series of connected annual one-shots written by Steve Englehart with art by John Buscema starting in issue number 181. These stories are amazing, and they helped define what the Hulk would become. A tragic hero cursed to become a mindless monster and trapped in a constant battle between his own self and the monster within. The collected editions are just being released this year in 2023, so there's no better time to check them out. Number 9, The New Teen Titans by Marv Wolfman. Marv Wolfman created some of the most iconic characters and stories of the DC Universe. But nothing is more quintessential Wolfman than his run on the New Teen Titans, starting in issue number 1. In 1980, Wolfman took over a failing teen book and made it cool. He introduced new Titans like Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg. But he also gave legacy Titans like Robin and Kid Flash new life and purpose. Number 8. Swamp Thing by Len Wein and Marv Wolfman in the 1970s. Horror was kind of the hot genre, and DC Comics decided to release a horror-themed anthology series called House of Secrets. But after a few years, sales started to slip and DC needed a hit. So they brought in writer Len Wein and artist Marv Wolfman to see if they could turn things around. Number 7. Saga by Brian K. Vaughn and Fiona Staples' Saga is one of the most acclaimed comic series of the modern age. It started in 2012 and has been running ever since. And together they have created one of the most unique and exciting sci-fi fantasy stories of all time. The series follows two lovers named Alana and Marco who come from different planets that are engaged in an endless war. They meet, they fall in love, and they have a baby. And then they go on the run from both sides of the war to protect their child. Number 6, The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. When DC Comics decided to start a line of books called Vertigo in the early 90s, one of those titles was The Sandman. The series was created by author Neil Gaiman, and it changed the face of comics forever. The series focuses on the personification of the titular Sandman, who is also known as Dream. Dream is one of the 7 immortal beings known as the Endless. He's in charge of the realm of dreams, but he also influences the dreams of every living creature in the universe. Number 5, Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. There's a lot of talk about whether Watchmen is a superhero story or not, and that's up for debate. But what is not up for debate is that Watchmen is one of the most important series of all time. Number 4, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. The Dark Knight Returns changed Batman forever. It's a story that pits an older, more brutal Batman against a new breed of criminal in a dystopian future Gotham City. The series also introduces two iconic characters, Carrie Kelly as Robin and a terrifying new villain called the Mutant Leader. Number 3, Mars by Art Spiegelman. Mars is a graphic novel that changed the world of comics forever. The series was published between 1980 and 1991, and it won a number of awards, including a Pulitzer Prize. Mars is a masterpiece of storytelling and one of the most important graphic novels ever published. Number 2, From Hell by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell. From Hell is one of the most unique and ambitious graphic novels ever published. The series was published in 1999, and it is a must-read for anyone who loves historical fiction or true crime. And number 1 on my list is A Contract with God by Will Eisner. Will Eisner is widely regarded as one of the greatest writers and artists in the history of comics. And his series, A Contract with God, is one of the most important works in the medium. Published in 3 parts between 1978 and 1984, A Contract with God is a collection of interconnected stories that take place in a Jewish ghetto in New York. It deals with themes of faith, doubt, and the struggle to maintain one's identity in the face of adversity. That's all the time we have for today. Please leave a comment and let me know what your favorite comic book series of all time is. Until next time, stay safe, stay awesome,